When Henry Fonda arrived in town, everyone greeted him as the man who killed fearless Jake. But Fonda had never pulled a trigger. The real story was completely different. Peaceful Valley received an unexpected visitor in the fall of 1885. Henry Fonda, 39 years old, tall, blue-eyed, with a calm face. When he dismounted his horse, the townspeople began whispering. "Is that him?" asked Butcher Miller. "The man who killed fearless Jake," confirmed Barbara Wilson. "Henry Fonda, the fastest gunslinger." Fonda heard these whispers but remained silent. He walked calmly to the reception desk of the town's only hotel. "I'd like a room," he said to hotel owner Margaret. Margaret handed him the key with trembling hands. "Of course, Mr. Fonda. Our best room is yours." "Thank you. And just call me Henry, please." Margaret was surprised. She hadn't expected such courtesy from a legendary gunslinger. "How long will you be staying in town?" she asked. "I don't know. Maybe a few days." But no one knew why Fonda was really there. He was just running from his past. When Fonda went up to his room, he watched the town from the window. It was quiet, peaceful, just the kind of place he was looking for. But the next morning, when he came down for breakfast, the town was very different. "Mr. Fonda!" shouted Mayor Turner. "Welcome. Having such a famous gunslinger honor our town." "I'm just a temporary visitor," said Fonda quietly. "But the story of how you killed Jake Miller, legendary. How did you do it? Were you really that fast?" Fonda felt uncomfortable. I don't want to discuss this. I understand you're a modest man, but everyone's curious. Jake Miller was the most dangerous outlaw in the West. You killed him with a single shot." Fonda sighed. This story followed him everywhere, but the truth was very different. That evening, as Fonda sat alone at the bar, bartender Joe approached. "Mr. Fonda," said Joe, "can I offer you something? We've been excited ever since we heard the legend." "Joe," said Fonda calmly, "that story, it's not that simple." "What do you mean?" Fonda looked around. The bar was empty. "I didn't kill Jake Miller." Joe was surprised. But all the newspaper, everyone knows wrong." Fonda turned his whiskey glass in his hand. "That day I encountered Jake Miller in Deadwood, but I didn't even draw my gun." "Then how did he die?" "Heart attack. Just as he was drawing his gun on me, his heart stopped. He collapsed." Joe's mouth fell open. "So you didn't do anything?" "I called the doctor, but it was too late. Jake died, and the witnesses thought I had killed him." "Why didn't you tell the truth?" Fonda gave a bitter smile. "Who would believe it? That the most feared outlaw died of a heart attack? People prefer legends." The next day, 3 outlaws came to town, members of the Thompson gang. They entered the town saloon and began causing trouble. "Where's that famous gunslinger?" shouted their leader, Buck Thompson. "Henry Fonda, come out!" The townspeople panicked. They expected help from Fonda. "Mr. Fonda," said Mayor Turner, "we need you to stop these outlaws." Fonda hesitated. I'm not good with guns." "But you killed Jake Miller." "That was different. That was chance." Turner was surprised. "What kind of chance?" Just then, Buck Thompson shouted, "Henry Fonda, come out or I'll burn down the town." Fonda couldn't stand the town waiting for him. He went outside. When Buck Thompson saw him, he grinned. "So you're that famous gunslinger, the man who killed Jake Miller." "Buck," said Fonda calmly, "leave town. Let no one get hurt." "Or what? Will you kill me like Jake?" Fonda's hand was trembling. He didn't even have a gun. I don't want to fight. Buck laughed. This famous gunslinger is scared. Where's your gun? I don't have a gun. What? Buck was surprised. You don't have a gun? Just then someone from the townspeople shouted, He's modest. He doesn't need his gun. At this point, the town's former sheriff, Tom Bradley, approached. He was a retired man, 60 years old. Buck Thompson, said Bradley, leave our town. Buck laughed. Who are you, old man? I'm the only person who knows Henry's real story. Fonda was surprised. Bradley looked at him. Henry, it's time to tell the truth. Tom, please. This town protects you because they think you're a hero. But you already are a hero. Just in a different way. Bradley turned to Buck. Henry Fonda didn't kill Jake Miller. But the day Jake had his heart attack, Henry was there in his final breath. He heard Jake's last words. What did Jake Miller say before he died? Asked Buck. Bradley continued. Jake said, find my family. My wife Sarah, my son Billy. Tell them I'm sorry. Buck's face changed. Sarah? Sarah Miller? Yes, Henry found Jake's family. He delivered Jake's last words to them. He gave them the money Jake had saved. Fonda nodded. Sarah and Billy are in Denver now. A small house, clean life, living on honest work, not with money Jake stole. Buck's eyes filled with tears. Sarah, she's my sister, Jake's wife. Chapter 8, Family Connection. Everyone was surprised. Buck Thompson turned out to be Jake Miller's brother-in-law. How is Sarah? Asked Buck. Good, said Fonda. Billy goes to school. Sarah works at a tailor shop. After Jake's death, they rebuilt their lives. Buck lowered his gun. You helped them? It was Jake's last wish. He wanted his family to be at peace. Buck's men also lowered their weapons. Can I see Sarah? Asked Buck. Of course, but you need to leave the path of violence. Buck nodded. Okay, enough. Buck and his men left town peacefully. The townspeople gathered around Fonda. Mr. Fonda, said Mayor Turner, so this is the real story. Yes, I didn't kill anyone. I just fulfilled a dying man's last wish. But that's greater heroism, said Margaret. Killing with a gun is easy. But saving a family's life? The townspeople applauded. I have an offer for you, said Turner. Stay in our town. Be our sheriff, but not with guns like this, with understanding. Fonda thought, I just want peace. That's exactly why you're the perfect sheriff. Fonda decided to stay in Peaceful Valley. He became sheriff but didn't carry a gun. He solved problems through talking with understanding. Months later, Buck Thompson actually went to Denver. He met with Sarah and Billy. The family was reunited. Buck also found honest work. Henry, Sarah wrote in a letter, thank you for delivering Jake's last words to me. I knew he was sorry before he died. You proved it. Fonda shared the letter with the townspeople. Do you see, he said. True heroism isn't killing with guns, it's helping people. The townspeople understood. Fonda's legend changed. Now he was known not as the fastest gunslinger, but as the most understanding sheriff. And this legend was a real legend. Years later, strangers coming to Peaceful Valley would hear this story. Henry Fonda? He's the man who became the most respected sheriff in the West without ever killing anyone with a gun. What do you mean? He would turn enemies into friends with words. He would transform anger into love, hatred into forgiveness. Fonda was happy with this new legend. Because it was true, on his office wall hung a photo of Jake Miller's family. Sarah, Billy, and Buck, happy together. And every day he remembered. The greatest weapon was compassion itself. If this story moved you, if you believe that true heroism lies not in strength but in understanding, that legends can be more powerful than facts, then this channel is for you. At Wild West Love Stories, you discover not just action stories, but heart transformation, family reunion, and the power of true courage. Subscribe and meet us in the next story, because here every story is also a character story.